2-year update.
2 years in the making.
It's been good actually. This time, surprise guest Ashton.
Yeah.
We've had the 6 month to 12 month, and this is the 2-year.
Yeah.
Just documenting my life since following the word as it's written and just looking into the realer things in life. Surprisingly, I didn't get it, but now it makes sense why Ashton's here, because Ashton's seen the before and after. He met me at when I was at my lowest point mentally and financially as well. But I guess it's useful that it's not a thing where I'm just gassing myself into reality. We've got my man who's been here from before and after and has some understanding as well. And yeah, just explaining the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I think it's very important as well that we note that since those sort of years have passed by, we've seen the maturity from both our sides. You know, there's a lot of things that have happened. People have made other decisions and sort of progressed with their decisions. So, like me, going to university, finishing my degree, getting a good job, and sort of just just climbing mountains and climbing over obstacles, because there's a lot of things that would have happened that would have made both of us maybe self-doubt ourselves, because you know, especially when we were doing that warehouse job. You know, it's just one of those situations where, as young men literally transitioning into our 20s, you know, we were literally from teenagers to 20s and we're still figuring everything out, and you realize that the world doesn't owe you a thing. You owe it to the world to work hard. You got to put in the work. Nothing is given to you, no silver spooning. And literally that's where I started just thinking bigger than Essex, and then I moved from Essex. I moved up north. So it's been great to see the transition. And for Adrenn, Andrew, his kids have grown up. He's made some other life decisions, and he's now more focused on just the word of God, and also reintegrating with who he is and finding himself after all the stuff that's happened with having a music group, and also just moving and transitioning away from that, and actually realizing that there's more important things than just facilitating for other people that don't really want it for themselves. They've got to put in the work. So it's been a lot of self-discovery for both of us. It's not been easy. It's not been an easy journey, but we're still figuring things out. We're only in our 20s, but we're getting there. You know, we're getting there. So it's just one of those things, is that never give up, because we came from the warehouse. It's just crazy, just coming from that sort of environment. You know, it humbles you as well. It's very humbling when you go forward from that level to go to that, when you really stoop to that level. It humbles you. It's a level of doing night shifts in warehouse, pushing cages. Not many people, or some people would have a story like that, but if you're lucky not to have been through that sort of experience, and then you're very lucky, because it's not an experience that I wish anyone on. It's not something I wish everyone that you should work in a warehouse, work in an environment where it's very sort of, you know, soul eating. It eats your soul away.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not even that the job was hard. It was the environment, and that everyone just expects you, and it's not even like I'm imagining it. They say it. They just assume you're stupid, especially if you're black. Just saying, oh, you have no GCSEs. That's the sort of thing people will say to you, and you'd be like, no, I'm gonna get a decent job, and they just think you're making it up. Like there's nothing more to expect to you.
Yeah,
man, it's mad.
Yeah, I just think that really now we're in our mid-20s, so a lot has happened since we started in our early 20s. experience what life is all about. Pay your dues to the world before you give the world this idea that it owes you something. Pay your dues, and then the world will say, okay, I've seen you've been putting in the work. That's where we have been. You know, I've sort of discovered myself. I've travelled a bit now. Went back to my home country, and sort of discovered myself again. You know, and I fell in love with who I am, my culture, and you know, it's not that I was ever lost. I never was lost. It's just that I realised that, wow, it's a beautiful world out there. Africa is beautiful, I tell you that. It's such a beautiful place. People are very welcoming. People are very family oriented as well. It's all about family, spending time, quality time with family. It's not all this sort of things that we have in the UK, which is very materialistic in the UK. It's like it's a material society. You got cars on finance and all that stuff that you don't even own. Get a mortgage. I definitely put my hands up to people that get a mortgage. That's great. But if you got a car on finance and thinking that you're bowling, please don't do that. You're not bowling. You still owe that man every month. So just think about the reality of what you own. Do you actually own it, or you pay it on a monthly basis? It's better to own it right off if you can afford it. So I think we just sort of learning those things as well. That we always had sort of the idea that you if you don't have the money, you should not really spend it. But you learn more in the world, that the world is, especially in the Western world, the UK, America, and that is that people are so caught up with this idea that you have to have this thing and that thing, the latest watch, latest car. If you can't afford it right off, it's not yours, because you still gotta pay it monthly. So I just think that we learn that my men don't even spend that much money on those things anyways, but it's like he's got a good sense of reality, where some people don't have, or I wouldn't say they don't have, they're just still learning that the world is not about all these things that you have, because it's all temporary. We were talking about how everything is temporary.
Like this is the thing is, even this walk, you have to check what your motivation is. Because if your motivation is in something temporary, you've lost already. And at some point, one day, eventually, you are likely to lose your mind, or you will 100% at some point, one day, eventually lose your mind. Putting your trust in something one day that will pass, and even your life is temporary. So it's wise to look at what is going to last to actually suffice you in regards to what's not. Like, I'll dig it deep. Like, even some people who might understand this walk and believe keep the Most High's law, but their motivation's still temporary. They're just in it. I found out I'm an Israelite. You know, that's not a strong enough motivation to keep you going. At some point you will crumble if that's your motivation. Put your motivation into just your people, but what about when your people start doing a madness and they know better but refuse to do it? Are you going to lose your mind then? The main thing that really kept me stuck to this is, the only thing I know that is not temporary is the Creator, and being appreciative and that being thankful of that, because it's not good to be approaching that with the wrong mentality again, because again that's still a fail, which it will be hard for a lot of people to get what I'm saying. But if you're only in it because you feel you have to, it's not genuine. That's not sincere, and your interactions with others around you will not be genuine or sincere, because you just be doing it because you feel you have to. You're not doing it because you care. You're doing it because you feel you have to, and eventually you are gonna get worn down. Like, trying to have your mind stuck in two places or being torn, it just creates mental instability, and that plagued me for too long. And I realized all it is just be grateful, be sincere, and make your mind up of what you want to do. Do you want to do vanities, like do pointless crap, or do you actually want to be real. And do what you know is right, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm not mentally unstable anymore. I just was indecisive, and that's the reality. But it's just
real talk. Touching on that indecisiveness, I think being indecisive is such a dream killer.
I never thought of that. You know,
being indecisive is such a big dream killer. Because we, on a daily basis, make decisions subconsciously without even realizing it. We make decisions, like going to work is a decision. You can easily not say, I don't want to go to work. But you do it because there's a reason, there's a reward, as well as it's your cost of living, it's your livelihood. You go to work for those reasons. And there's more bigger reasons that you go to work for.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I just think we as people, just in general, especially when you're young, it's the best time to make mistakes, because you can easily sort of rectify them as long as mistakes are justified in terms of its learning curve, and it's not a big mistake. Some mistakes are you can't really change those ones. There's some that you can sort of turn your way around and find your way again. And so being indecisive is such a big dream killer. It kills more dreams than any other disease, being indecisive. It really does, because you can imagine on a daily basis, if you say you want to be something, you have to put in the work. There's no, you reap what you sow. You know, it's that simple. So I think making decisions to say for you, I wanted to leave that August job, or you know what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, and then you still moved on. You still moved on with your life. You never let it get to you. You wanted to leave anyway, so it was nothing big.
I guess I'll admit that I got fired. Well,
yeah. So it's those things that happen in life that are actually blessings in disguise. They're actually blessings that makes you realize I was never meant to be here in the first place. I was meant to pass through that place, but not meant to be stuck there. And that's what we did. We sort of just kept moving forward, because we were not indecisive. I was already thinking, man, I'm applied for uni. I got my Peugeot. I got my car through that job anyways. I'm grateful, because them long nights paid for me getting a car, and then moving to up north anyways, which is great. All these things are great, but I was still making decisions to go back to uni. That's a decision. I could have easily said, let me just keep working this minimal paying jobs, live in my mum's house or live in my parents' house. But I'd already left my parents' house originally at 18, so it was no brainer that I could go back out again at 20 years old. So I left. Never been back since. I'm proud of that. But I always come and visit. You know, home is where you're made, and Essex made me. You know, Essex. Because without Essex, I would have not made so many. I wouldn't have been the man I am today. I made so many mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes. It's how you bounce back from them that makes you a man. So like, it wasn't the mistakes. There's beauty in mistakes. There's beauty in struggling. There's such a beauty in going through things and coming out the other end stronger, and actually realizing that, no, I made decisions that were actually correct. Yes, it might have taken me longer than someone who graduated at this age, but I'm good on that. I'm very good on that. I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm more mature, I'm more ready to tackle the world, and I got a profession. Man, I'm good. Don't you worry like about feeling like the decision that you make will not really be a great decision, because you don't know until you try that decision. Sometimes you just got to dive in without having any full preparation. There's no such thing as great preparation. There's only preparation that you feel like there is some sort of... sometimes just going in and doing it is much more better than just thinking that I need to be prepared. Nothing prepares for you. Nothing prepares you for what's out there. For people that will say no to you. There will be some no's in the world. People will say no to you. You have to learn to deal with how when people say no to you. Don't let it break your spirit. Don't let it break your spirit. It's not worth it. It's not impersonal, but you have to move forward. If people say yes to you all the time, you might start thinking or to be honest, I've had a lot of yeses, but the yeses, they've not built me up as such. It was the no's that built me up.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the yeses that made me what I am. It was the no's.
I find it weird when I get too many yeses.
Yeah. It was actually the no's that that made me what I am. It made me realize I'm no different to anyone else. I'm just a regular guy trying to get it, trying to make it, and trying to survive in this world. So yeah, I learned more from the no's more than the yeses. And the yeses are great, don't get me wrong, you get that great feeling, but you don't learn a lot from yeses, like everybody saying yes, get this job, got this, that. So it's great though, it's great, and we've learned that. We've learned to navigate in this world, and we're still learning, you know. And it's like the next big thing for me, I told you, is to get a house, mortgage. That been saving me up like crazy. It's like men's is living poor just so that you can save up for a house. Like, it's great. It's not poor in the sense of poor, like you just save more money than you're spending. That's the sort of thing I'm on at the moment. But it's a great thing in the long term. People need to stop renting and actually buy a house as mortgage. And the best time to do it is when you still got energy in your 20s to get a house. Don't do it in your 30s, do it now. And it's much better to do it when you haven't got any big responsibilities and stuff. Like my man has got responsibilities, he's got 2 kids, like, so his money goes to the kid, most of it. So I'm like, good, let me do it now. And how do I know this? Common sense. It's common sense. How do I know that you need to save up while you haven't got responsibilities? It's common sense, and also being smart. You have to be smart about these things. And learning that life doesn't owe you a thing. You owe it to the world to do what you need to do while you still got the energy. While you still haven't got big responsibility, like my man here, like he's got big responsibilities. It's not about him. It's about his kids and making sure he does his thing as a father. So it's like, for me, I'm great. I'm doing it now so that when I do have that situation, I'll be good.
You're prepared, innit?
Prepared, yeah. More prepared. So security. It's all about security. You know, and you think bigger. You think beyond yourself. When you do things, think beyond yourself. Don't just think about you. Think about who else will benefit from them decisions you make. And there's a lot of people that will benefit in the future. Because I'm creating my future right now. But there's some things in the making that are also gonna come into play that I need to be ready for when they come over here and when they eventually come.
No, what you said is key.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a good focus as well. Preparation is so important. I know you can't always be 100%, but even this walk, when you read scriptures, is prepared. You have to be prepared. Like Sabbath teaches you to be prepared. And I guess through the most of my life, I was making unprepared decisions and getting worried about that and not liking the outcome. Whereas maybe I can go forward making prepared decisions and see how that does for me.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's setting stepping stones for yourself and actually realizing that maybe I need to go with the flow. And let life take the lead, but also realize that you're still the main predictor of how your life goes. You're still the main denominator in your life. You're still the main. Because everything else around you will influence your decision. Whether you like it or not, everything around you influences them decisions that you make. Subconsciously, you won't even know it because you're so busy trying to make a decision that. Yeah, and also your life experiences and stuff make you make a decision based on those things. But ultimately, people will support you regardless. If you've got a good support system, it helps as well. If you haven't got a good support system, friends will help, because friends can actually be better than family in terms of if you got the right friends, not the wrong friends. There's a difference. So surround yourself with the right spirited people, like the right spirited people. That spirit that they have, they want you to succeed, you want them to succeed. It's not fake love. It shouldn't be no fake love. It should be real, genuine, that you want to see someone progress. You want to see yourself progress as well. And in the sense of doing that, you actually get ultimate satisfaction. Because you're helping yourself, but also you're realizing that it's bigger than you. You know, because I recently got a friend that bought a house, but he already had a house. He had a relationship, and the relationship broke down. But he had bought a house with his girlfriend at the time. But the girlfriend decided to go separate ways, broke up with the boyfriend, my friend, and they was torn apart. They decided to sell the house that they had got a mortgage on, and they split the money half because they'd already got the mortgage 50-50. So it was meant to be half. So when he got the money, he still saved up for this new house because the money that he got was not enough to get the mortgage. So he's kept working, and he's got a new house now on his own 3-bedroom house. And men's is only 25. Right. That's motivation, if you ask me.
It's motivation, but he's got to have the right motivation in the long run.
Yeah.
As in, because it's not hard to get anything, but the thing that is hard is to keep something.
Yep.
And even if you do keep it and keep your sanity and keep a good spirit.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different ball game.
It is. Too many people want things in this world, but they don't realize that it takes a lot more to maintain it and to uphold who you are. Don't let the thing change you. Don't let these things change you. It's just material stuff at the end. A house is a great asset though. It's a great asset. But other than that, you still die. You leave the house, you know. It's passed on down to generations. Depends on what you do with what you have. But it's bigger than us. Everything in this world is bigger than you. You know. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Say for that.
No problem.
See you whenever, I don't know, whenever you're about.
Yeah, man. Nah, I'll be around. I'm always around.
I know what you say.
Yeah.
Always at work, but.